Hello everyone and welcome to EVE Basics. This is my second video about CAS Combat Day. It's about roam communications. So the most important thing to be able to do when you're PvP roaming is to communicate with everybody. So when you're on CAS Combat Day, there is a couple of places that you need to be, and one of them is down here in the chat channels. So you need to be in a channel called CAS Combat Guild. So if we add we push the plus here, you can type in CAS Combat Guild and say join. Boop. And that'll pop up. Now you're in the CAS Combat Guild channel. So, we have our message of the day with like some roam announcements and stuff. Once you are in here, the only thing you need to do in this window is to go like this. X, enter. Then you wait for some nice person to invite you to fleet. Look at that. Freeman Powell, nice fellow, wants me to join his fleet. I accept. Once you're in this fleet window, you're in the fleet with everybody, and you don't need to do anything else in this window for the most part. Everything else, all the other communications, will be in the fleet window here. So we'll give them the 07 here. So once you've X'd up in this window and are into the fleet, you're good to go. So the next thing we need to talk about is the fleet window. So once you're in a fleet, you get a fleet window like this. On roams, we ask that people put themselves in the top squad. Okay, so here's top squad, right? In order to put yourself in there, you just go find your name. Where am I? I cannot alphabetize. Oh wow, I'm really high up. You can put yourself right into the top squad, and kaboom. That's a way for the fleet commander to know that you're on the roam, and once you put yourself up there, that's all you have to do. Then they know what ship you're flying, so they kind of have an idea of what their fleet composition is and all that good stuff. So make sure you pop yourself into the top squad. The next thing that you want to do is get your overview set up for the roam. Okay, so people will link this into the window, and especially if you ask them. And so in here, you can talk to anybody in the fleet in here, and they'll usually do what you say. So somebody on the roam will link the CCD overview, CAS Combat overview. And when they do, let's see if I ask them if they'll do it. They must all be fighting right now. Nobody's on top of that right now. So we're going to go here and open our overview settings. And then what you can do too is you can grab this and you can import overview settings. Now I have it previously saved, CCD overview, and then you just say import, and we have to talk about this. So this pops you up a whole bunch of different tabs. The most important thing that's happening up here is it is sorting friendlies into their own folder. Now, oh, there, Freeman got me the overview. So if you click this, it'll load the overview profile. It'll say you're about to load a new one. It might override some of your tabs. So if you want to keep your old overview, I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, so this is what this looks like. You got the tabs up here, and all the enemy ships will come in here. And if you want to see friendlies, they're in here. All right, so that's the deal. This overview is super, super handy. Travel and PvP loot, you probably shouldn't mess around with too much. And friendlies, okay? So get your overview set like that, and you should be good to go. Just make sure you're on the right tab when we're doing stuff. Okay, so CCD overview really helps you keep track of what's going on. If you don't want to use CCD overview, the only thing you have to do is make sure friendlies are not showing up in your general. The battlefield can be filled with 100 ships at once, and you need to only be able to deal with the enemies. So the other way we communicate is on Discord. So this chat window is all well and good, but we can't communicate in there full time. During the roam, you got to be on Discord. Someone will shoot you an invite to the Discord channel in the fleet chat here, and you can link up to that. Discord's pretty easy. You don't have to talk on Discord. You only have to listen. In fact, PvP roaming is mostly an exercise in listening and focusing. It's like CAS Combat Day is somewhat of a social event, but not the gab all day kind of one. You want to do a lot of listening to the fleet commander. There's a lot of tense moments in combat, and we can't have a lot of jibber jabber. So if you just want to listen, you don't want to talk, that's totally fine. So the last thing about information or fleet communications, Roam communications, is joining folders. All right, and what the folders are is in your people and places. So I think the hotkey for this is Alt E. And if you go to locations, this is a bunch of bookmarks. And bookmarks are just points in space that you can warp to. So, usually you can only warp to stations or stargates, or actually you can warp to fleet mates too if they're far enough away. The minimum distance is 150 km. So unless Kalia flies really far away, I won't be able to warp to her. But bookmarks allow you to jump pretty much anywhere. As long as you've made the bookmark, you can jump there. The main folder you want to get a link to is the Eve Scout / Thera folder. This tells you where all the wormholes are that lead to Thera. So right now, from where I am, there is a wormhole that'll take me into Thera 5 jumps away from here. So you can right click and set destination. Looks like I got to go through lowsec to get there. And so in order to get on here, you have to link to the folder, and you actually have to online it as well. Now you can only have a certain amount of online folders. I don't know why they did that, but if you have to, offline, whatever, like offline the folder, it'll just be offlined, and you can reconnect to it later in the offline folders. So I'm going to online it again or whatever. But if you have to offline some of your folders in order to online the Eve Scout, what that allows you to do is sometimes the fleet commander will tell us to warp to one of these things, like warp to GYA, right? And if you don't have this folder, you're going to be lost. So make sure that folder gets into your locations so that you can tell where we're going. Really only important for Thera stuff, but Thera stuff can get kind of confusing. So make sure you're hooked up to that. And I think that's it for video number 2. The next video is going to be what you need to do to prepare for going on the Roam. And I will see you there. Thanks for watching.